reality sets in, and we here.
Respect isn't given, it's earned. In blood.
Boxing King Media, powered by the Green Room Experience out here, not in Johnny Nelson's home, but we're in a fancy hotel, all Christmassy. We're what, 3-4 months away from Christmas. Johnny, are you feeling Christmassy?
You know what? You've got the first Black Santa you're seeing right now. So, yeah, it's that Christmas feeling. The weather's changing, the night's getting darker. Yeah, why not? That's how we do it in Yorkshire. It's the first chance you get. Christmas trees are out.
I'm just trying to think. I've ever seen a movie with a Black Santa. I'm trying to think. Has there ever been one? I don't think I've ever seen one.
I don't know, but I'm quite sure I'd frighten quite a few kids around here anyway.
Yeah, you just need to grow that beard a bit longer. But we're going to shout out the one. It's not only shout out. It's basically just to mention our sponsors for our chats that we're having. The Green Room Experience. You've obviously worked with them before. A VIP experience and hospitality experience at big events. We're working with them in regards to the Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn rematch. Tickets are, I think, about £1,400, which sounds crazy, but when you hear what you get with that, it's you're literally treated like a VIP. If I sum it up in one, you're talking heated seats, dinner service, meet and greet with celebrities and boxers on the night, and Johnny Nelson will be there as well. So I'm gonna have the link in the comments and in the bio. But Johnny, you've worked with them before and you've experienced the Green Room Experience. Can you talk about it a bit?
I've worked with them for many years, and they are such a professional outfit. And it's not just boxing events, horse racing, rugby, football, and they take care of you. Great food, great hospitality, and they've just got a nice client list. It's just nice, and I've been all over the country with them. And I always think if you're not into the sport and you go and watch it like that, you think, I like this. But then a lot of people that are mad boxing fans or rugby fans, they'll go and they actually miss the event because they're staying inside actually watching it on the screen instead of going outside and watching it. But it's if you go once, you are definitely going to go back. The Green Room Experience is just, it's a different level, and it's class.
It is, like I said, you get what you pay for. If you want to be having that kind of experience, you need to hit them up. The link is in the comments. And one last thing before we talk about the boxing, I've joined up with J&M Memorabilia and the Ricky Hatton Foundation that's set up on Instagram. You can see the pages right now. So basically, we're going to do a giveaway for a Ricky Hatton signed glove, which you only signed a couple of months ago. But if you want to be within a chance to win that signed glove, you've got to follow J&M Memorabilia and the Ricky Hatton Foundation pages on Instagram, and then we're going to select a winner from that. There's not going to be many people signing up to it, so you got a very good chance of winning a Ricky Hatton signed glove. So yeah, a nice bit of memorabilia there, and to support the foundation as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the foundation, I think, was announced the same day as Ricky's funeral, the day before. I think Manchester did Ricky proud on Friday. I think Adam Smith did Ricky proud. I don't know how he managed to do that. Trust me, I was just watching. I'm choking up, and I felt for his family. You know, when they're carrying the coffin in, I felt for everything right now. It's going to be quiet right there, because now the funeral's gone. The family's got to find some kind of peace, but a reality with Ricky no longer being around. So it's going to be very hard. There's no way you can sugarcoat it. But you know, they've got each other, and that's what's important. And it made a lot of people sit up and actually pay attention to people that have mental health issues, that just need to talk, especially men. And I actually did a talk last week, and it was a mental health World Mental Health Day, and I went and spoke to a lot of guys that had actually considered suicide, tried to take their own life, or were affected by it some way. And the stories, sad, horrendous, scary, and it can just say, I'll take that one thing to topple someone over to actually start thinking that way. But my job there was to talk to them and just make them realise, look, there are other options in life. I get it, and to do this, if someone took their life or whatever, I wouldn't. You wouldn't say they were a coward, because it's a very brave thing to do. You just said they're in a dark, lonely place. So it was an eye opener for me. And then at the end of the week, Ricky's funeral, I thought, bloody hell, what a week, what a sad week.
Indeed, may he rest in peace. But yeah, hopefully some Ricky Hatton fan will win that glove. The picture is on the screen now. So yeah, hit us up on Instagram. The post is up right now. Before we talk about the boxing, I came across this picture today on an Instagram page, Vintage London, I think it's called. An awesome picture. I think it's from maybe the early 90s. A picture of you and Brendan Ingle, and I got it transformed into colour. Tell me, you got Brendan training you in jeans, wearing like a raincoat, and you're wearing some sort of yellow pants. Were these colours true? Because this is what I've managed to get.
Listen, Brendan used to have a pink mohair jumper. Now, you youngsters won't know what mohair is. Mohair is like it was like a really itchy kind of jumper, and he'd get into spar. I remember him sparring with Naz. Naz had always given him a bit of lip, and he said, come on, let's get in. And when Brendan sparred with you, he'd bite your neck or bite your ear and hold you and really lean on you, and he'd fight a bit dirty. I think the last time he did it, he had his rigger boots on, his working trousers, pink mohair jumper, got into spar with Naz, and Naz was trying to whack Brendan, and Brendan still got that fight in him. And Alma came across, get out of the ring. She told him off like he was one of the kids. And because it was real. Brendan initially would come from work to the gym when he used to work on Starting Point. Then he'd come and deal with us a lot in the gym. But then eventually when he started doing it full time, that was his full-time job. So, and again, it's not just what you see in the gym. That picture that you saw, that was just part of the training. When we could walk in and he'd be talking to me about dead people, I'm like, why are you telling me about these people? These dead people are people like Genghis Khan, Marcus Aurelius, and presidents and all types of people. But you just try to make you listen, make you understand that just because someone's achieved something outstanding doesn't mean you can't. And I didn't realise how much of a lesson I was learning from Brendan until after I'd learned it. And so the stuff you see me on the pads, that's 10%, 20% of the method of his coaching.
So obviously this picture got turned into colour from black and white. So were them bottoms that type of colour?
Listen, I was skint, man. They were tracksuit bottoms cut down.
Right.
Yeah. So and Brendan, you could see, even I look at that picture and I think, you've got a kid that, and I don't know what he's, or look at the mitts. Nobody has mitts like that. You've got a kid that didn't believe in himself. But Brendan did. He could see something. You got a kid that actually could fight and didn't know he could fight. You got a kid that had all the attributes apart from himself. And so the hardest thing is, if someone believes, unless you believe in yourself, you're never going to believe anybody else believes in you, no matter what front you put on. So I was fortunate enough to have Brendan to show me patience and understanding. I used to be envious of his kids, man. I'm thinking, can you imagine being one of Brendan's kids? But you know what? That's why the gym was my second home.
Amazing story. And now we're sat here next to this Christmas tree, and we're going to talk about the boxing. Was it last night? No, it was 2 days ago now. We're going to fly through the undercard. So the first thing I want to speak about is Hamza Uddin. He became the English flyweight champion and the WBA Continental. Got a good knockout win. Just tell me what you think of that young lad.
I think his talent, I think it was a 4th round knockout. Put him down 3 times with a body shot. But his swagger, his movement, his confidence, that's something, that growth, it was very Naz-esque. And I hope this young man grows to match his ability and strength. And if he can back it up, if he has a punch, and if he starts to get that solid shot on, and he boxes like that at any level he's at, he will blow people's minds. So it's taking that confidence, no matter who you get in with. And that's the difference what Naz did. Naz did it at the lowest, the mid, and the highest. And this is why people thought, wow, this guy's got the ball to do that at such a level. And I think this young man, again, style very relaxed, very braggadocious. He really fancied himself, and I thought, you keep that up and you'll be all right.
I know you will have come across a lot of Arabs and Pakistanis in the ingle gym, but have you ever come across a Bengali kid?
Bengali now. I don't know if there was a young man from Wolverhampton. I can't remember his name. Oh God, I can't remember his name. There was a young guy from Wolverhampton. He didn't do anything. They were trying to tout him against Adam Azim at one bit. But
I know he was Indian, the one you're on about.
was he Indian? But Bengali, no. And the thing is, if you know what, if you get a good Asian fighter, you know the backing will be mad. The backing worldwide would be mad, but it's not very often. But when it happens big.
Good fight, and hopefully see where his journey goes. He's managed by Sam Jones. He's doing a good job on him there. Next fight, Josh Padley, Reece Bellotti. The only two questions for that fight is, did you agree with the scorecards? Because that caused a bit of controversy, and did the right man win?
I thought the right man won. I think Josh... Bellotti. Oh, right. I thought you were talking about the chief support. I thought with that one there, I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was questionable. It was close. You know, it depends on how you looked at the fight. But it was tight. But it was entertaining as well. And the crowd, I think there must have been, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 people there. And it was a good crowd that really appreciate, they'll say how it is. And some of the fans were happy about it, some of them weren't.
So I know that there was controversy about the scorecards, but do you think Josh was the right winner?
I do. I think Josh did enough. I think Josh was smart enough, cute enough. Watch it again, turn the volume down, and just do it the right way. Look at it, check it out, and then don't follow emotion, don't follow what the commentary's saying, and then you'll see the fight and you think, oh, I get it. You might not like the result, but I get it.
And then the chief support, Junaid Boston, was formerly of the Ingle Gym, and credit to him for taking the rematch, because I spoke to Dom earlier, and Dom basically said that his summary of it was that they shouldn't have took the rematch because he's young. It doesn't need to go down that route. But my counter argument to that was, if he never took the rematch, he would have got hammered online, or you're avoiding him, etc. So where's the right and wrong in it before we talk about the fight?
I agree. You shouldn't have took the rematch. You got a draw. Not yet. Not straight away. Because he was in there with a man, a 37-year-old man, and this guy, Fawaz, he knew what he had to do. He had to train, and I know some stuff was said before the fight, and which really wound him up. And in doing that, instead of boxing, he just got in there to try and fight, and he was walking into him. So the first time they boxed, it was a draw. They boxed again straight away. I'd have left it 4 or 5 fights down the line, then answer the critics then. So I think ego and pride were what that took over then. I think I'm gutted for them. They've now got a matching record, 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Fawaz, I liked him. But he knew how to play the game and get under his skin, the younger man's skin. But it was a good fight. I think the right man won too.
So it's an interesting one. Like I said, it's a bit of an interesting debate about the rematch thing, like you said there, before I kind of tap into the actual fight, the way it played out. I think Eddie said after the first fight that he has to beat him before he moves on, because you've got to beat people like Fawaz before you move on to the next level. So looking at that argument, is that a fair argument, or how do you argue back with that?
I get it. But again, I think you saw boy and a man. And a couple more fights for him would have turned him into a man. But he was thinking of it wrong. He was going in there fighting from the heart instead of the head. And Fawaz did the right thing to wind him up. Junaid refused to shake his hands after the fight. His mother was sat in front of me. Her hand was shaking and she was crying, and Junaid's looking across seeing his mom like, you shouldn't be here. Or if you're going to be a get the back, let this boy concentrate on what he's got to do. I personally, it's great to be smart afterwards, after the event. I personally would have waited a couple of fights before I did that fight again.
And the way the fight played out, he obviously started well, but got buzzed in round 3, I think it was. I think most people thought ringside he's going to get stopped in the next round, but he literally come back and won the second round, and obviously then it turned into a bit of a topsy-turvy fight. So what could he have done to win that fight, do you think?
Boxed. He was trying to have a fight, and Fawaz loved that, because Fawaz was picking him off, pickpocketing him. And if Jaden had boxed, he'd have outboxed him. but he didn't. He tried to, because he got boxed. He's then in his head. He's like he's thinking attack, attack, attack. If he'd have boxed him, used his jab, used his movement, then it would have been like a chess match. I understand it was entertaining for the crowd, but if he wanted to win, you know, I could see his coach in the corner saying, "Look, come on, man. You know what you're doing. Having to pull him back, having to make him check himself." But I know Jane's a better boxer than that, and I think Jane will be really mad at himself, thinking, "Damn it, he got me. He sucked me in." You remember when big contrast of difference? Remember when Sugar Ray Leonard boxed Roberto Duran the first time? Roberto Duran was saying abusive stuff to Sugar Ray's wife. He was slapping her ass while Sugar Ray was around. And Sugar Ray's mad, he's fuming. And he was doing all the things to get under his skin, to wind him up. So when it came to the fight, Sugar Ray just wanted to get in there and beat him up. That's exactly what Roberto Duran wanted. And then afterwards, you know, Sugar Ray realised, what have I done? You know, stupid me. I should do what I'm good at. So he pushed and pushed and pushed for the fight straight away because he knew the mistake he did. The next fight came around. He totally outboxed him. No matter what Duran said or did, he didn't get engaged in a fight. And Duran quit because he thought, I can't do anything about it. And this is what Fawaz did to Junaid. He wound him up. The stuff that was said before, wound him up and got under his skin. Where Junaid wanted to get in there and beat him up. You know, and unfortunately, it's not just about boxing, it's about using your brain as well.
And just a quick word on Fawaz, great performance by him, and a lot better than his age suggests, and he's got some good skills. I actually like the way he fights, and obviously he's a proper personality, and I'd quite happily see him on TV again.
Yeah, I would, and I think it'll get to the point where if he can get away with it and gets on a roll, he's going to do you. And Junaid let him get away with it. If you pressure him, make him think, make him make a mistake, make him reach, then you break his heart. But Junaid, I think Fawaz looked at him and thought, "You're a boy. I know you're a boy, and I know exactly what to do. You know, I know how to get into your skin."
That's what he kept calling him, my boy, didn't he, in the build-up? So, but yeah, hopefully we see Junaid back, and hopefully we see Fawaz. Hopefully somebody gives him an opportunity on Matchroom or whatever it is. Main event. I didn't even know you was at the venue. I didn't see you. You must have slipped straight in and out. Tell me about the atmosphere, Johnny. You've been at many events at Sheffield Arena, whether it was Naz, Kell Brook, even Amir Khan, all these guys that have fought there in recent times. Compare that atmosphere when Dave Allen walked out. Can you think of a night where it was better?
You know what? It baffles me because Dave is a certain level of fighting. Anything above that, he'll admit himself, he's just not good enough. But it was mad. I don't know if it's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people there going absolutely bonkers. You know, and then they played Blue Moon. This guy was sobbing before he got in. Just before he got in, this guy was sobbing. You know, when they did a tribute to Ricky Hatton there, he was absolutely sobbing, and it was that kind of crowd, with a proper testosterone-filled crowd there. And then when Dave got out, it was like Ricky was coming out. They went mad for him, and Dave, I get it now. He's a likable boy next door. You can relate to him, even when he lost. He said, "I'm just not good enough. I just tried my hardest." And my concern have never changed. I think he gets hit far too often. I think it's got to have some effect on, or he might be one of those gifted individuals that it doesn't ever affect. And he was getting some heavy shots landed on him. And Dave, you know, when he came out, he milked the crowd. He said he choked up a bit when, you know, we saw that. I looked around, I thought, wow, you know, and even I, towards the, you know, my last interview I did on that boxing show, I kind of got swayed with the want and the desire for Dave to win. I'm like, what am I thinking? No, Dave, if it goes the distance, but you've got to just separate your heart from your head. And the fact is, Dave just wasn't good enough. And his opponent knew exactly he had to stay on top of it. Towards the end, he was getting tired, but Dave didn't change anything all the way through. The first half of the fight, he lost. Second half of the fight, he started to try and fight on the inside, and he got turned over. He lost fair and square.
I forgot to mention that, you know, on Johnny's new channel, That Boxing Show with Johnny Nelson, you dropped a prediction, and you told me the other week as well that you was picking Makhmudov to win on points. In fact, the only two people that I spoke to that predicted Makhmudov to win was yourself and Duke McKenzie. So yeah, credit to you guys for getting the prediction right. Was there anything different Dave could have done? Because some people are saying he didn't let his hands go. Was it a case of him not letting his hands go, or was Makhmudov just underrated?
Makhmudov, underrated, tall, uses his jab, and I think his confidence grew as the fight went on because Dave was trying to make him punch himself out. A lot of the Germans do it. When you go over there, the hands will be up and you're punching, wait for you to get tired, then turn it on. That's what Dave was doing. Dave said we were waiting for the second half of the fight. So he's willing to take a bit of a beating to get to the second half of the fight. Some fighters grow from that. Some fighters, it breaks their heart. And I think Makhmudov, as the rounds went on, he thought, right, I've got them in the bank. Now I can grab and hold. So whenever Dave came in to try and work, he'd tie him up. Got 2 warnings from the referee. I think he caught Makhmudov in the 9th round. And when he caught him in the 9th round, he just didn't have what it took to get rid of him because Makhmudov tied him up. He did the right thing, used his 6'7" height to make it hard for him to get any work done. So it was too late in the day. What could Dave have done? He couldn't have done anything else. Makhmudov was letting some shots go. Dave's not a finesse boxer. He's a tough cookie. He just came up against another bigger tough cookie that was probably had a bit more boxing ability than he did.
Couple of questions for you. First one, should Dave carry on fighting?
My opinion hasn't changed. I said a couple of years ago he shouldn't because he gets hit far too often. My concern is about the afterlife after boxing. So after boxing, what happens is, nobody cares. Nobody bothers that you can't put a sentence together. Nobody bothers that you can't remember where you put your shoes. Nobody bothers seeing a fighter that's shot afterwards because back in the day, you used to fill an arena. So I'm older now, so I think, Dave, man, you're gonna have to pay that price when you get older. I hope I'm wrong, but I've seen it with too many fighters. I'm seeing it with fighters now. So I thought when it gets to that stage, you shouldn't be getting hit like that. So should he carry on? No. Will he carry on? Yeah. He likes to fight, and as far as he's concerned, he's like, all right, it's not affecting me. Okay, good. But that's just my personal opinion.
The other thing I've got for you, obviously he's had a good successful run recently. He's gonna be able to secure his family, etc. I was watching a bit of an exchange between Paul Smith and Big John on X last night, and in short, let me just pull it up so I don't misquote anyone. Paul Smith obviously was reacting to the fight and some comments online, and he basically said, Alan, with all due respect, is there as a gimmick because he beat another gimmick in Fisher. I heard AJ being mentioned and it wound me up. Wilder too. I'm happy Alan has been paid, but that's it now. Surely if you can't beat Makhmudov, I don't want to see him hurt. Big John did reply to that and said, I'll be saving this message, and then obviously Paul replied to him. So what do you make of that? I think the question I've got to ask you is Dave Allen, or even, well, we're talking about Dave, so I'll leave Johnny out of it, but is it fair to call Dave Allen a gimmick?
No. What I would say is Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher, the promoter, as in Eddie, has taken advantage of their popularity. And so they're not gimmicks. They've sold a dream to somebody that knows somebody like Johnny Fisher, to somebody that knows somebody like Dave Allen. So therefore, it's not being a gimmick. It's just like their platform has been open to everybody and anybody. And so people that feel familiar around Johnny Fisher or Dave Allen think, I want to go watch him box. And Dave Allen lost on Saturday night, but still the crowd, they cheered him. He was still walked out like a hero. Not a gimmick. He's just a regular boy that has got local support. I think, I like this kid. I think, your gimmicks are misfits. Your gimmicks are an initial gimmick with someone like Jake Paul, who's elevated himself from being a gimmick to, you've got to give him props where it's due. So I think it's a bit unfair. I can understand Johnny Fisher's old man being a bit peeved off with that. I get it. I do think it's unfair, but that's just Paul's opinion. Paul, he understands the fight game, and I get it, but I wouldn't have gone that far to say that at all. I'm quite sure if I rack my brain, I could think of a couple of fighters that are gimmicks, but Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher are definitely gimmicks. They've just took advantage, or should I say, a promoter has taken advantage of their local popularity and took it to a national level. So on the undercards, when you see fighters coming through that sell 50,000 tickets, or you see fighters that journeymen that sell loads of tickets, they're not gimmicks. They're just popular guys that sell tickets, and that is Dave and that is Johnny Fisher. Popular guys that sell tickets, and they've taken it to a higher level of notoriety, so people see it.
So memory card changed. So the question I had for you, there was obviously talk of AJ looking for an opponent, and Makhmudov called out AJ in the in the interviews afterwards and the press conference, and apparently he was semi-promised by AJ that if he beats Allen, that AJ would fight him next. So the question is he good enough to compete with AJ? And also, is it worth considering? Because I spoke to Ajit Kabir last night, and I said to him that when he beat Makhmudov, and obviously the manner of his win over Makhmudov, a lot of people said Makhmudov was like no good, and obviously a lot of people are saying that Dave will stop him. So was that even a fair thing to say about Makhmudov going into this fight? Because I think people looked at the Kabir loss and then the Vianello loss as well. We saw Vianello blow somebody away the other night as well.
Yeah, so Makhmudov is a handful at a level. Stepped out of his level, get exposed. He was at a level with Dave Allen, and he got through, scraped through, won on points. So there's levels in this game. There's world-class level, there's international level, there's European level, there's British level, there's levels. And Makhmudov's a certain level. You take him out of that level, he's shown to be wanting. And so I think in saying that against Anthony Joshua, does it more devalue Anthony Joshua fighting Makhmudov than the other? Makhmudov wants that fight because he knows he's going to get paid handsomely, but out of his level, he'll get exposed. And look, you saw Makhmudov box; he's of a certain level. Dave boxed Makhmudov. Dave is not Makhmudov level. You understand? So there's levels there. So what does that say about AJ fighting Makhmudov? More than anything else, because that's a world title fight as far as Makhmudov's concerned. So if it's about getting a payday, getting a bit of cash, yeah, go for it. But what is it telling us? What is it proving? What is the point for AJ apart from getting paid or getting a run out? I don't get it.
Do you give Makhmudov any chance of beating Anthony Joshua?
He shouldn't have any chance, but as I said, I think it depends on which AJ turns up. If AJ turns up, not a chance in hell. If AJ's shell turns up, you give him a puncher's chance. So that's what it is. Why would you risk that against Makhmudov? Risk it against somebody that there's some kudos attached to it. Why would you risk it against him? Because it can happen. No matter what we say, it can happen. We've seen it happen. So are you going to think business, or you're going to think, you know what? You know, you're going to make the same mistake again. You can't afford to make those mistakes with AJ.
Indeed. That's it really, Johnny. Unless you think I've missed anything, that's it, innit?
No, we haven't. Paulie Malignaggi's fighting Tyler Goodjohn on Friday in Leeds, a bare knuckle fight, which I don't get. I just think Tyler Goodjohn, former professional fighter, he's actually sent me a message before I came in here, and I'm thinking, what are you doing, man? Paulie's had bad hands when he was a boxer, you know. But he's just one of those guys that just wants to have a scrap, and he's very hard to understand, Paulie. But you know, he wants to fight, and he shows his cojones because he's thinking, I don't care, man, let me have some of that.
Yes, definitely. You know, we might see Johnny Nelson in bare knuckle one day. You got massive knuckles, mate. But yeah, that's it really. Don't forget, if you want to win that Ricky Hatton glove, follow the instructions we gave at the start. You need to follow J&M Memorabilia and the Ricky Hatton Foundation, and just look at the post on our Instagram page. You'll see the information on there. And the Green Room Experience, if you want hospitality tickets for the best prices and the best experiences, links on our description of this video and the bio, the new sponsors of our chats with Johnny Nelson and Dominic Ingle. Johnny, that's it. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll catch you soon.